Eileen Gu switches focus to her other job after Winter Olympics success. Eileen Gu is off to the next thing on her list, Milan's Fashion Week for the next week. Gu, the most decorated female Olympic freestyle skier of all time, won 2 silver and 1 gold medal in the 2026 Winter Olympics in Milan Cortina. Although the Games have concluded, the 22-year-old Chinese star will now focus on her other profession, being an international star. Having walked in the city's Fashion Week in 2023, she also has made appearances at the Met Gala and Paris Fashion Week in the past. Her attending Milan's Fashion Week comes after a former NFL MVP claimed she was attractive while also stating she was insufferable. "It's Fashion Week in Milan," the Chinese Olympic star said, hat-tipped the Daily Mail. "I have the other job, the other fashion thing. I'm really excited to just explore some other avenues, be creative, and explore my femininity through fashion, which is something I've always loved, and to kind of put that in juxtaposition with skiing and with sports. And I think they coexist so beautifully, and so I hope to represent that next week in Milan." Gu is one of the more recognizable athletes, having been featured in Fendi, Gucci, Tiffany & Company, and Louis Vuitton campaigns in recent years, further raising her profile. As an athlete representing China and an IMG model, the 22-year-old has also expanded her reach in the country, having been featured on the covers of the Chinese editions of Harper's Bazaar, Elle, Cosmopolitan, GQ, and Vogue. She also has partnerships with Chinese brands such as Luckin Coffee, Anta Sports, and the Bank of China, among others. That said, the way Gu has conducted herself at the Olympics has not gone over well with some in the media. Former NFL MVP Boomer Esiason made it clear that, while he finds the 22-year-old alluring, he also could not stand how she presented herself. "If you listen to her, you're like, what?" the former MVP said to Greg Jonotti, his one co-host. "She's a very, very attractive woman, and she's extremely bright. She went to Stanford. But if you listen to her post-participation interviews, she's insufferable. She is. It's hard to listen to. But then again, it's an individual sport and an individual person talking about herself as opposed to talking about her teammates or the support she receives." Despite what Esiason claims, Gu has maintained that her focus is on remaining an elite athlete. As she did so, the star admitted that her greatest strength was her confidence, which, in a way, has helped her reach a new level in aspects of life outside sports. "The power of sport is unparalleled because it is evidence over affirmation. Because you don't tell yourself, 'Oh, I can handle the pressure. I'm so great,'" Gu told reporters at her closing press conference. "You do it time and again. Sports are really honest because you can't lie to yourself. You know when you stayed late and other people weren't there. I tell myself a chip a little line and call it a day. It's the fact that I look back on quite literally years, like decades of hard work, of pouring my heart and soul into this sport. And so yeah, it's trusting myself, and it's building that trust every day." From snow to silk, Eileen Gu's journey beyond the slopes. Eileen Gu is not just an athlete. She is a symbol of modern complexity, a young woman who defies easy categorization, blending sport, fashion, culture, and identity into a life that seems part adventure novel, part runway chronicle. After making history at the 2026 Winter Olympics in Milan Cortina, where she won a gold medal in the halfpipe and 2 silver medals in slopestyle and big air, Gu could easily have rested on her laurels. Instead, she turned her eyes toward another stage, the glittering runways of Milan Fashion Week. The world's most decorated freestyle skier. At just 22 years old, Gu is already the most decorated freestyle skier in Olympic history, with 6 medals, 3 from Beijing in 2022 and 3 from Milan in 2026, to her name. But what makes her story especially compelling is that her athletic prowess is only one part of her public persona. Born in San Francisco to a Chinese mother, Gu chose at age 15 to compete for China, a decision that shaped her career and global profile. This choice ignited both acclaim and controversy, admiration for her courage to forge her own path, and backlash from those who saw her decision through nationalistic lenses. Yet instead of being defined by criticism, Gu framed her journey as one of self-determination, building my own pond, as she's described it in past interviews. A seamless pivot to fashion. No sooner had the applause died down at the Olympic podium than Gu was already embracing her other job, a phrase she used with confidence and clarity to describe her role in the fashion world. "It's Fashion Week in Milan. I have the other job, the other fashion thing, she announced, capturing both the delight and her intent to pursue creative expression beyond sport. This pivot wasn't accidental or symbolic. It was deliberate. GU isn't someone who dabbles in fashion. She lives it. Signed with IMG Models, she has walked major runways, appeared on covers from Vogue to Cosmopolitan, and fronted campaigns for luxury houses such as Gucci, Louis Vuitton, Tiffany & Company, and Fendi. At Milan Fashion Week, held the same week her Olympic adventure concluded, GU took the runway not as a novice but as a returning creator. Her presence was more than a photo op. It was a statement that her ambition extends beyond the halfpipe and into arenas where art, identity, and personal expression collide. Creativity and identity in motion. GU's transition from snow to silk speaks to something deeper than dual careers. It reflects a generation that refuses to be boxed into a single identity. On the slopes, she is fierce and fearless, leaping and spinning through midi with a precision that makes Olympic gold look effortless. On the runway and in fashion editorials, she embodies a different kind of bravado, elegant, self-aware, and unapologetically feminine. Her words about fashion shed light on her mindset. It's not just a commercial pursuit, but a creative outlet. GU said she is excited to explore some other avenues, be creative, and explore my femininity through fashion, viewing fashion and sport as complementary forces in her life. In this sense, fashion for GU is not a distraction but a continuation of self-expression, another language through which she tells her story, pushes boundaries, and communicates who she is beyond medals and records. The power of duality. What makes GU's evolution so intriguing is how naturally she navigates dual worlds that often seem disparate. On one hand, she is among the fiercest competitors on snowy mountains. On the other, she sits front row at couture shows alongside celebrities and influencers. Yet for GU, these roles are not competing. They coexist beautifully. In a world where athletes are increasingly more than competitors, often cultural ambassadors, brand icons, and social influencers, GU exemplifies this transformation. Her career is a vivid testament to the idea that elite sport and high fashion, creativity and competition, athleticism and artistry can blend into a multidimensional life that defies the traditional expectations placed on athletes. Economics, influence, and the new athlete archetype.